Morning. I begin by saying something very obvious. A lot of people are going through bad times at the moment. They're in Ukrainian cities that are being bombed. They're in neighbouring countries looking for a home. They are girls in Afghanistan not sure about their education. They are families in Shropshire coping with the death or disability of a child due to poor medical care. They're in homes across the country, anxious about how to respond to the rising cost of living. And they're in our own community and congregation, dealing with brokenness and looking for healing. Everyone I've mentioned needs help, and I'm sure that we will aim to do all we can through generosity, simple acts of kindness, and searching for peace and reconciliation. And I pray that God may help us to respond in any way we can. And I want to add a response that may sound a bit limited or even feeble, and that is receiving and offering words of comfort. I do so because one of the appointed readings for today is Psalm 23, "The Lord's my shepherd," possibly the most loved psalm, the one most used at funerals and other times of sadness. And before Helen reads it, I want to share one experience that underlined the value of the words of this psalm for me. Some years ago, the teenage son of some close friends took his own life. I felt I had to go and see them, but I didn't know what to say. I thought I ought to offer a prayer, and in the Methodist tradition that would have been extempore, but I wasn't sure the words would come. When I got to the house, I arrived at the same time as a senior Methodist minister, a man of great wisdom and sensitivity. We both listened to the expressions of pain, and then he offered to pray, and I wondered what he would say. In fact, he read Psalm 23, and it was just right. Beautiful words of comfort in a desperate situation. And Helen's going to read those words now.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Words of comfort are probably not enough on their own, but my thought today is that they can be used alongside practical acts of loving kindness. Comfort is a word that has taken on different meanings over time. It often relates these days to furniture, sofas and beds especially, and that's fine. But it originally comes from two Latin words meaning together, that's the com bit, and strength from the word fortis. And it's basically about being strengthened together, people giving strength to each other. And that can happen in so many ways, but today I'm emphasizing that it can happen with words, including the words of this psalm. The psalm gives us so many beautiful images: a shepherd, green pastures, quiet waters, paths of righteousness, a rod, a staff, a full table, an overflowing cup, an anointed head. But it also confronts reality. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And a psalm is one for all occasions, and its words, in my view, give us a together strength. I repeat, words may not be enough on their own, There are, in fact, warnings in Scripture about just saying words and not doing anything useful. Practical help and support are needed. But in this reflection, I'm emphasising their importance, the importance of words, alongside other responses. Beautiful words of Scripture, of poetry, maybe put to music, can bring comfort and make us all strong together. Now, the words of Psalm 23 have been put to music many times, and I close with one of my favourite versions, written by Stuart Townend and sung by the choir of St Martin's in the Fields. I pray that these words and the music may give comfort, defined as together strength to each of us and to all in need at this time.
Will